What we have here is a compound turbo 12 valve out of a 95 Dodge Ram in a 79 F250. I'm going to go ahead and post several videos on this build for you guys out there who enjoy these retrofits of Cummins into the old Ford trucks. And I'll show you some of the things that I have done along the way if you're planning to do one of these builds and are concerned about some of the modifications that are necessary to do one of these retrofits. So some interesting things about this particular build, obviously, is the compound turbos. And here in the engine bay, I have not quite figured everything else out so far. I did have to put the engine a little bit further forward than normally you would do in a Cummins conversion because of the bottom and lower turbo here that is further back than your stock turbo and having some clearance issues with the floorboards. So that may complicate things putting in a radiator and running a stock fan or maybe some electric fans. I am going to be using a Ford style radiator with a, I believe it was 97 to 03 Ford Power Stroke intercooler. I am also running a Hydro Boost brake system out of a late 90s, early 2000s Ford of some sort. I can't even remember exactly what I bought. This restoration's been 10 years in the making. You know, hey, life gets in the way. Things happen. Also, you kind of lose focus. After I spent 2 weeks painting this thing, I got quite tired of it, and it sort of sat for 2 years, but now we are getting down the home stretch. Some other interesting things here below me. I do have an original Dana 60 front end for this truck, and in the back, I am running a factory disc Chevy 14 bolt. Yes, they do exist, and I will do a video on that as well. I am running the NV 4500 5-speed that came here with the Cummins motor. I'm doing a two-tone blue on the paint job with the racetrack trim. Ultimately, we can get this thing up and running. Probably going to shoot for 600 to 650 rear wheel horsepower. This particular turbo system is the small streetable twins. It is the ATS 3000 over the ATS 5000. And this particular turbo setup actually came off what I believe what was told to me was a wrecked 2008 6.7 liter Dodge, but it actually works and fits onto the stock 12 volt manifold. And I got a great deal on this thing. There was low miles, there was no play in the shafts. I paid only 1,800 bucks for the turbo system versus $5 grand. So that was a nice little savings here. We are going to be running a dual disc Valère Street Quiet clutch in this build. So stay tuned. Leave some comments too if you're curious of how I went ahead and did some things or fabricated some things, and I'll try to go ahead and pinpoint those in some particular videos. Stay tuned for the rest of this build.